another episode of the Dosage. This is episode 134, the year 2019 in gaming. Back live here with Cody. What's going on, man?
Hey,
So 2019, I was 34 years old.
I was 25 years old.
Yeah, quarter century. Baker's dozen.
Hell yeah. Baker's dozen.
So let's paint the picture real quick, then we'll dive into our lists here. Here are some notable events that happened in the year 2019. Bungie terminated its publishing deal with Activision, maintaining rights to the Destiny series. Huge move there. Respawn Entertainment Electronic Arts surprise released Apex Legends, a battle royale game that within a week gained 25 million players and challenged the dominance of Fortnite Battle Royale. Google revealed Stadia, a game streaming service, and unfortunately that did not pan out to be all that successful, flashing forward to 2021 now. Reggie Fils-Aimé retired as president and CEO of Nintendo of America and was replaced by, fittingly, Doug Bowser. Epic Games acquired Rocket League developer Psyonix. Microsoft released the all-digital version of the Xbox One S console, which lacks an optical drive for a lower price point. Xbox Game Studios announced their acquisition of Double Fine, the developers of Psychonauts, which we just had this month in 2021, September of 2021, have Psychonauts 2 release. Microsoft announced their next-generation Xbox console, known as then the Project Scarlet. Apple Arcade, a game subscription service, launched. Microsoft unveiled the design and name of their next-generation Xbox console, previously known as Project Scarlet, known as the Xbox Series X and S models, set for late 2020 release, which they did do. We'll talk about that, obviously, in the next episode. The Sega Genesis Mini was released, as was the Nintendo Switch Lite. A lot of big things in 2019. Let's talk about...
Yeah, I was looking forward to Project Scarlet. The concept designs for it were amazing. The console was scarlet, the color. Yeah, and I was really looking forward to that. Now I know we get the Xbox Series X, and we all know what that looks like,
a
but I
fridge.
don't know, the concepts that we saw for Project Scarlet and the color for Project Scarlet, I don't know. I kind of was leaning more towards that.
You know, in theory, yes, but it is on brand for what their console looks like, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Like, the Series X, I didn't love it at first, but it has truly grown on me. And it fits their branding. It is a much, much better design than the PS5, in my opinion.
That's true.
That thing is a go.
It's a router with two pieces of paper on it.
Basically, yeah. That's what it looks like. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So a lot of things happened. I know we've probably skimmed over other notable events. We'll do that. We only have so much time in our episodes to discuss things. As with many games are released in 2019. Now what we do is we compile a list of honorary mentions and then we give you our top 10s. We'll miss a game. We're sorry. Feel free to comment below with your favorite picks and honorary mentions. With that, let's dive in. Do you have honorary mentions for this year?
Nope.
All right, I'll dive through my list real quick then so we can get to our top 10 and discuss that. Here we go. Honorary mentions. New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. Crackdown 3. Among the Sleep Enhanced Edition. Contra Anniversary Collection. Cadence of Hyrule. Dragon Quest Builders 2. Blair Witch. Days Gone. Astral Chain. River City Girls. Untitled Goose Game. Mario Kart Tour. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And Pokemon Sword and Shield. Those are my honorary mentions. Cody, will you kick us off? What's your number 10?
My number 10 is Sekiro, which is you play as a samurai in China. It's a very, very difficult game. Dark Souls level difficult. But it is very enjoyable and the storyline is very, very good. This is one game that I would say if you like to play some storyline driven one player games that Sekiro is definitely a great game that you should check out.
You know, I was eyeballing this one when it was coming out and then when it released.
Beautiful game.
It really is. Great visuals. I was concerned about the combat and then the difficulty of the game. because of the comparison to the Dark Souls games. I do love the Dark Souls franchise and games like it, but I wasn't ready for the frustration level at that time, and I had watched people play it, and I was like, this isn't for me at this point.
Yep.
And I never went back and played it or like got my hands on it. So
No, I mean if you want to rage out a little bit, but still have a good time, this is a good one to double back to.
one of these days, maybe in the bargain bins, I'll check it out. But for now, I have such a backlog. So
Game Pass.
it's a PlayStation game, though. I thought
Is it?
fairly certain. Is it on both systems?
I think it's on both, and it's on PC. I know for a fact it's on PC because I played it on PC.
Oh, I don't PC games,
Uh,
so there's that.
let's see.
While we look that up, I'll give my number 10. My number 10 is probably surprising to some that may know about my interests. Kingdom
Oh, it's on.
Hearts. Go ahead.
It's not exclusive. It's on Xbox as well.
Really interesting.
Yep, it's on the Xbox, it's on PlayStation, it's on Switch, and it's
Oh,
also on PC.
it's on Switch? How the hell did they get that
It
thing
is
running
on,
on the
and it's
Switch?
on Stadia.
What that? Well, Stadia doesn't surprise me, but Switch surprises me. Maybe down the road. Too many other games. Kingdom Hearts 3 is my number 10 pick. We waited so long for this game. The anticipation level was on another level. While the game was fantastic and delivered on all fronts, I think our anticipation was higher than what we actually received. I think we were expecting just life-changing game, and it was fine by all means, but it didn't change lives. And I think after the significant over-decade wait for this sequel, I think a lot of us felt disappointed. But again, it's not a bad game. It just cracks my top 10, though.
My number 9 is Beat Saber. Beat Saber was a great game. It's a VR game. But yeah, it's very simplistic, kind of like Dance Dance Revolution or something along those lines. Just it's with your hands, and moving the joysticks around to make you hit specific sides of the blocks. Where one hand is blue, one hand is red, and you just got to make it work. Very similar to, like I said, a Dance Dance Revolution or even a Guitar Hero. It's the same concept when it comes to that. You play on different songs and everything, which keeps getting updated to this day, to where you can play almost any song that you can think of on Beat Saber. But it's a great party game to have people over and enjoy some Beat Saber.
Yeah, I've seen people play this one. I saw it also played at Games Done Quick this past summer, the Summer Games one. Definite coordination and skill as you get into the more difficult songs or difficult levels of how do you define the difficulty levels. A lot of coordination is for sure needed. It does look fun. It looks like a fantastic workout for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I would think of it very similar to a Guitar Hero or a Rock Band. I mean, you gotta have that. You still gotta have coordination to do either of those. So,
Right,
I mean, you're a big drum fanatic, so
right.
I feel like you got the hand movements to be able to play Beat Saber.
Oh, I'm not saying that I probably couldn't do it. I'm just saying there's got to be a difficulty curve
A
to
little
it.
bit, a little bit.
The thing that this feels inspired by is what is the dance games on the Wii? What are those
Just
called?
Dance.
Yeah, Just Dance. So that reminds me of like an expanded upon, like a very heavy budget version of Just Dance with like the Wiimote.
Yep.
So it's they put more into it, whereas Just Dance is just like cookie cutter with new songs every year.
They also had Just Dance on the Connect.
That's right. Oh, the Connect, man.
What a failure. Would've been great.
A good idea, but not really
Bad
well
execution.
Yeah, not really well executed. But yeah, that was your number 9.
Yes, Beat Saber was my number 9.
He's number 9. Okay. My number 9 is Gears 5.
Wow.
I know, here's the thing. I didn't finish the story to Gears 5, in all honesty. So I couldn't.
You,
Go ahead.
you know how much I hate Gears, and it's higher on my list.
It's not that I hate it, it's the fact that I can't say that this is so incredible that I'm going to rank it high in my list. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm misleading or lying almost when there are other games that I played more of that have a different value to me. And again, just because it's number 9 doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just there's other ones that beat it out because they held higher value to me. But Gears 5 is fine. It improves continuously on the story. Has good mechanics. The horde mode and online play is fantastic. And it's just such a fun experience still. So Gears 5 is a fine game. I'm eager for, the continued franchise, of course. And I can only imagine the stuff that they're going to put out in the new consoles. So, yeah.
That leads to my number 8, which is Luigi's Mansion 3. Um, Big fan of Luigi's Mansion. Luigi is my main when it comes to anything Mario, because I am a younger sibling. So I kind of got latched onto Luigi and held on to him through Mario Kart and Mario Party, and he's always been my guy. Also relate to him because he's a tall, lanky individual, kind of like me. Um, so yeah, I love this series, and this is another one that my son got heavily into as well. He played this one and then wanted to go back and play the other Luigi's Mansions as well, because he knows that I have a love for Luigi, not just Mario, but Luigi as a whole.
So Lana is giving her picks. Her number 10 is Untitled Goose Game. Her number 9 is The Outer Worlds. Her number 8 is Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even think about Untitled Goose Game. It might have broken my top 10, but I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, that was in my honorable mentions.
I did hear you say that in your
Yeah.
honorable mentions.
Speaking of Luigi's Mansion, though, she is considering. I don't know if you heard the announcement earlier, but I was talking to her about because she says she has a hard time finding time to play games. So I was like, well, why don't you just commit to a stream schedule and then you'll be forced to play a game every week because you're going to be playing it for the channel. So she loosely agreed to the idea of coming back on maybe Wednesday nights. And if so, she'll start with Luigi's Mansion because it's a game that is on her backlog that she has not played through yet. So, and I
I look
said
forward
it's
to it.
fitting for the season, so why not? So be on the lookout for that if you guys are looking for streaming content, especially because this show is ending too. That's going to open up some more nights for whoever wants to do whatever, whenever. Because only the last 2 Tuesdays of the month now will be our scheduled shows of the music and movie podcasts. This
And Fellowship.
and exactly stuff like that. So like this show ends tonight. The years in gaming is done. We have one more episode left, and it's done. It'll be a yearly podcast special from here out because we'll just be recapping that particular year, and that's it. So our Christmas special this year will be the return of it with 2021, and then it'll just become an annual thing.
What was your thoughts on the best of the decades?
I think that'd be fun to return to. I don't think it should be a weekly thing though. I think it'd be maybe
No, it's something special.
yeah, something special, or maybe once a quarter or something. I think we went too hard with these episodes because we were excited to get through these lists, and I don't think people appeal to them. But I don't care. I've had fun. So, but with that, what are we on, number 8?
8.
So with that, wait a second. Lana says, "Calm down, Shakira. Whatever, whenever. Get out of here." None of that. My number 8 is Borderlands 3. And I am excited for the Tiny Tina game that comes out next year. That looks incredible. I had a lot of fun with Borderlands 3 as well. This is another one that I wish I had more time so I could have gotten farther. But I did enjoy my experience with it, and I love the split screen co-op. Still a fun game to play together with people as well. not much bad to say about Borderlands 3.
My number seven is Rage 2.
I thought you were going to say
Um,
Raid Shadow Legends.
no, no, Raid Shadow Legends is done. We are not sponsored anymore.
Damn it, we were so
Um,
close.
we were so close. It once got a number 10 slot, but it's not here anymore. But Rage 2. I don't know if you ever played Rage, just Rage in general, the first one.
I did. I enjoyed
Um,
the first one. Yeah, it was fun.
it was an okay game. It didn't even break my top 10 for that year. Um, it was okay. But this one was way better. Way better. It looked way better. It felt way better. The story was way better. It was just a really, really good game overall. The driving mechanics were even better. Um, yeah, this was a great open world, post-apocalyptic world type game.
Trevor announced he has pumpkin cheesecake.
Sounds really good.
Lana's number 7 is Tetris 99. But yeah, pumpkin cheesecake sounds incredible. My number 7, I had started this on stream, just streaming from my PlayStation console itself. I didn't do all the fancy OBS stuff, all this jazz. More so just because I wanted to play the game and not be distracted by things. Because that sometimes happens. I mean, you've played games on stream. It's sometimes more challenging to play a game on stream than it is off stream. We've talked many times before where immediately we get off stream and have matches of our lives.
I
And
think
then,
it's the difference in sitting upright, like in our chairs that we sit in, and the difference in going to the couch and just lounging and relaxing. Like it's a different feel to gaming once you're in a chair, kind of upright, looking at a 32-inch monitor, and then jumping with chat going across your screen and everything like that.
yeah,
And then
it's
moving over to a 70-inch TV when you're sitting on the couch and just relaxing, hanging out with the boys. Yeah, it's a little bit of a difference. Yeah, it's something you got to adjust to. But that's for the aspiring streamers out there. It's definitely something you gotta adjust to.
get
It
yourself a
definitely
second
takes
monitor is my best recommendation to help out with that because
that as well.
yeah, because I have a 20-inch main for OBS, and then I have a 24 for the game stuff for when I am playing actual games. But yes, it's a much better experience. I also have a 70-inch TV. Um, I feel like I have better response and I can see things better on a screen of that size, especially for shooters, something that
Yeah.
requires a quick response or trigger, you know. But yeah, this next one, my number 7 is Death Stranding. This stars Norman Reedus as the main protagonist in a post-apocalyptic world trying to reconnect everything. He's basically a courier, and he's just trying to, again, reconnect the world that's been torn apart by all the things happening. Now that this show is ending on Tuesdays, in the open Tuesday nights, I might be playing that one again, but starting over, playing through scratch, because they are doing the re-release of the game for the PS5 next week, and it comes with new content. So I figured, why not dive back into that game with the new content and start over? Why not a better time than now? So I've just been trying to figure out what I want to do next, and that is high up on my list, so be on the lookout for that. That's Death Stranding, my number 7 pick.
That moves me to my number 6 pick, which is Super Mario Maker 2. I actually got into this because I watched you and Lana play this on stream. And I was like, this looks super fun and super agitating at the same time because being able to play maps that people have made out for you, and sometimes we know that people are trolls. So some of them could be extremely impossible, and some of them could be, yeah, very impossible to beat. Um, but yeah, it just looks like such a good time and playing it through. It definitely is better if you're playing it with other people. If you're playing it by yourself and actually trying to take it serious, um, it can go fuck itself. That's our one F for this episode.
Man, you took it.
Um, yeah, but yeah, it's a great game, especially when you have company. It's a great party game.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Like, if you're just going to put a game on in the background and get people interested, everybody knows Mario, but then all of a sudden you have that hook where it's user created content. It's a new
Yep.
Mario every time because the
Yep.
odds of playing the same maps are pretty slim unless you favorite them, obviously. But immediately, if you're not drawn to want to pick up that controller and try a level, especially when the person next to you is failing at that one, just to kind of one up them, everybody has that competitive spirit. If you don't have that, you're lying to yourself. But I challenge anyone that has this game, put that controller down in front, like of when you have a couple people over, see who picks it up. See one by one how everybody starts to get involved and engaged with this game, which is why it's also my number 6 pick. That's the long segue there. But yeah, Super Mario Maker 2, I loved the first one. Absolutely loved the second one. Such a great game. It's fun to pick up if you're bored. And there's just so much. There's infinite replayability until they sadly shut down the servers. But you can still make your own stuff. And I hope we do see a third one day. I don't think it needs to be anytime soon. But I do enjoy Mario Maker. Great idea, and it was executed properly.
Hmm.
And they even had a decent like campaign mode that they didn't even need to have in this game. And that was challenging and fun in itself. And you were just rebuilding the kingdom. Like that was really cool. Did you get a chance to mess around with that or did you strictly play online?
Strictly played online.
If you get a chance, check out the main story stuff. It's fairly short. Most of it's easy, but it is fun.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Let's see. My number 5 now. And I did it right. Gears 5. This is one of the few Gears games that I actually enjoyed. Still clunky. Still clunky. We're not gonna steer away from that. Still clunky.
It's
But it
supposed to
was
be.
great having Batista in the main story. That was fun. A name that we all know, especially here on this channel because this is a primarily wrestling channel.
Did you get the New Day
Um,
ones too?
I did get the New Day as well, which is great. Up, up, down, down was gracious enough to be in that game. So you had Austin Creed, you had Kofi Kingston, you had WWE champion Big E Langston.
Big E.
Uh, yeah, it was great, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but tonight Big E and Finn Balor beat the Usos, and they have a tag team championship match coming up. But anyway.
You said I don't want to spoil it, but
But yeah, that happened. Uh, but yeah, Gears 5 was a great game. The storyline was great. Um, this is the game that I realized once you get over the clunkiness, there's actually appeal to it. So there is that.
shit
There's
yeah.
appeal to the clunkiness. Yeah, and then I enjoyed the Fellowship movie with this as well.
It's supposed to be gritty, clunky, and raw. That is the appeal to it. I think you just don't like third-person games. I wonder if that's the case.
Maybe, maybe.
Because you're the stuff that I've seen you play is generally first-person shooters.
Actually, I'm going to tell you you're wrong, but we'll talk about it in the next year.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Stick around for that, of course. But yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be gritty, raw, and clunky. I feel like this is gonna be an ongoing discussion now for us. Yeah, Trevor, you get some sleep, man. You take care. Obviously, thank you for tuning in. If you guys ever
Love you.
miss an episode, find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, or of course our YouTube channel archives. That is the best place. You can find this as
I,
well as the Nerds of Wrestling podcast.
can I point this out? I know it's not, but for the past like 2 hours since I've been on, 2.5 hours since I've been on, uh, your shirt looks like it has an egg on it. But I know it's not. I know it's a doll. But it looks like an egg.
It's from Trick or Treat.
I know it looks like an egg, though. and it keeps like the face keeps glitching out, so you can see the background in it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the
but
color.
yeah, it
It's
it looks like an egg. Um, but yeah, anyway, you're number five.
fine. I'll cover it up.
No, no, I like it. It's a cute egg. It's like an egg with a face. It's cute. Uh, yes, move those hands.
My number 5 is Yoshi's Crafted World. Again, I've mentioned this one if you've been around on the channel in the past 2 years. This one holds a significant place because of all the memories that I've created with my oldest son, Atticus, and him learning gaming. He obsessed over this when we got the demo downloaded before the game came out, and then we counted down into the actual full release of it and played it a lot. It is a game that he learned to play on his own. And as Trevor pointed out in another episode, I'm thankful for Nintendo having an easy mode for new gamers because it makes the game essentially that easier for younger gamers to learn, and it didn't make him frustrated as much, and he had a lot of fun playing during all the times that he played it. So, and it's one he'll still go back to and slowly chip away at and play more of. So yeah, Yoshi's Crafted World, my number 5.
My number four. I know I said that I was going to tell you you're wrong for the next year, but I'll tell you you're wrong now. My number four is Jump Force, which is a third-person game. Um, this is a game where you play. It's three different anime worlds combined. So you have One Piece, you have Dragon Ball, you have Naruto. Um, and this was just a really fun fighting game that combines these three worlds, and you can team up and swap out who your characters are. So you could team up, say Goku with Naruto, and it was just a really fun game overall. And they had each person specific like special moves that they do. So they have the Kamehameha, and yeah, they had all that. So it was just a really fun fighting game that you can spend hours and hours into. Story mode wasn't really much of a story mode. It was more of just giving you missions here and there to do, and it would just send you into fights that were already pre-designated who the teams were going to be. But it was a good time, and you can make your own anime character with whatever anime style you wanted to between those three, and give yourself whatever special moves that you wanted, and over time you gain currency, in-game currency, to where you can get different moves, different attires, different things like that. So it was just a really fun game. More of like an arcade game, if I would say so myself, though.
Completely unfamiliar with almost all of that stuff, so I'll take your word on
Well,
it.
we are dose of nerd acumen, and anime is kind of nerdy, so the
Oh,
people probably know
yeah,
what
I'm
I'm talking about.
not discounting that or saying. Ty says there are
I,
way more animes than 3.
in that game, I don't recall, but
I
uh,
don't know.
it's what it is. He's probably right. He's way more into anime than I am.
Yeah,
The
that is
ones
the
that I
not.
didn't The ones that I didn't know were probably like characters from like One Piece, and I just assumed that they were all from One Piece. So, yeah, that could be it because I didn't watch all the animes that were on that game. And up to this point, when I played this game, I hadn't even watched Naruto. So the only characters that I really knew was the Dragon Ball characters.
Yeah, such a world that I'm unfamiliar with. One day I'll be educated, but um, you guys are going to be the pros on that, not
Not
I.
me, not me. I've only watched a total of like three animes that you can be like technical saying they're animes. That's Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and I'm up to date on My Hero Academia.
Pokemon.
I don't count like Pokemon,
I count Pokemon.
even
Damn it.
though, or Yu-Gi-Oh or
It's an anime.
Bakugan or
It's an anime.
yeah,
Ty says there's One Piece, My Hero
Bakugo.
Academia, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, Kenshin, Black Clover, Hunter x Hunter. He
But there was
knows.
three clans. I know there was three clans, and you could either choose to be a part of the One Piece clan. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was in that game. He was for sure in that game. I forgot about that. But there's only three clans that you can be a part of. You can choose between the three that I said. Is that wrong? Or am I just thinking of something else? Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. You guys clearly know way more, so I have no stance on it or statements or understanding of any of it. So
I only knew I only knew a couple of the ones he said. So
I'm familiar with those names. I'm just not familiar with the content of such. So
I don't remember. I don't remember some of those. I don't remember My Hero Academia being a part of that, unless it was DLC, which I did not play the DLC. So there is that. Maybe it started out with just the three. I don't know. But moving on, you're number four.
my number 4 is The Legend of Zelda: Link's
Oh,
Awakening, which was a remake of the Game Boy Color game, which is basically a sequel to is it Legend of Link to the Past? I think. I'm trying to remember my timeline lore for it. Let's go with that. I could be wrong. Somebody will correct me in comments, I'm sure. But yeah, Link's Awakening basically washes up on an island, has to reunite the instruments to wake the sleeping owl, and or the sleeping bird was an owl. I don't remember now. Drawing a blank. It's late. But that's just it. There's the 6 instruments you collect. I believe it's 6. Now I'm questioning everything I know. But incredible visual, cartoony, almost like not Toon Link, but it's again its own unique art style, and it's definitely inspired, keeping a lot of familiar dungeons and the familiar overworld map that you were used to, but it's inspired and tweaked to be updated to fit the Switch and today's gaming and puzzles. There was also an add-on challenge mode that you can build your own dungeons in the game and then send them to your friends and challenge them to complete dungeons, which I thought that was a real neat touch. And I didn't see too many people even talking about that, which I'm surprised by. But I thought that was a nice little add-on to the game. But yeah, that's my number 4.
my number three, and I did it right again. Borderlands 3. Yeah, Borderlands was a fun game. I love the Borderlands series. There's a lot to enjoy when it comes to that. Of course, you get to pick whatever type of character you want from the beginning, which would be what kind of power ups you have in the future. Which that was always a good time figuring that out and what you wanted to play as. Then the playback value as well, going back and playing as those other characters that you wanted to play. Um, yeah, it's just a good game. The storyline's good. It's a fun looter shooter. That's really all there is to say about it. Is that it's a really fun looter shooter. If you like looter shooters, Borderlands is arguably the best series for that. So
It really is. I think it stands as the best looter shooter out there, in my opinion. It
I'd agree.
offers so much more content and reward for doing things. It's got a better leveling system, good perk trees, good variety of characters. And I know other games out there, like Destiny, is considered a looter shooter. It's not as good as Borderlands, not even close. But that's my opinion. But yeah, that was your number 3.
Yup.
Good pick, good pick. My number 3, which I'm going to do it too with a number 3, Luigi's Mansion 3. I know you mentioned this one in your picks. I'm going to piggyback on that and agree this is such a fun and inviting experience. The mechanics in it still are incredible with the way you battle the ghosts with the vacuum pack. The idea of Gooigi in it that was introduced in this one is really clever and unique. It allows co-op gameplay as well, which is fun. A lot of puzzle solving throughout the different floors of this hotel. The story is somewhat generic, but still fun, and it keeps you pressing forward through all the different levels, and real cool exploration for hidden items and the ability to do upgrades to the various things that you need. Really not many complaints to this game at all that I can think of. it's a solid game. And as I mentioned, be on the lookout for Lana playing that soon on the channel. So Luigi's Mansion 3 at number 3.
That moves me to my number two. I'm sure you can guess my one and two here.
Probably
If you
Apex.
really
I'm going to go with Apex as your number 1.
is my number one, what do you think number two is? I feel like you could guess it.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
You would be right. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Warzone specifically is my number two. Battle Royales took over in 2018. They just did in general. Now 2019 comes along. The skill gap in Fortnite got ridiculous to where kids were, in the beginning, it was fun because nobody knew how to build. So everybody's really slow at building, or people just didn't build at all. Um, but then by the time it was a year and a half old, the skill gap changed where people were building the Taj Mahal in 3 seconds as soon as you shot one bullet. Um, so instantly, yeah, you kind of if you weren't really a fan of the building aspect or you weren't good at it like me, you kind of moved over. And Call of Duty Warzone, uh, Call of Duty did it right. Um, it was your standard feel of a Call of Duty game. Uh, the ability to do buybacks and everything like that, still be able to buy UAVs. It's just a fun game in general. I will say it did get ruined. Cheaters, hackers, have ruined that game completely to where it's almost completely unplayable.
Why does that continue to be a trend with Call of Duty entries? I feel like a year or a year and a half to 2 years out from a title, it gets taken over by bots or cheaters. Or do you remember years ago where everyone was just knifing each other in one of the Call of Duty games?
Yep.
Because there was like
Yep.
a sprint exploit or something, and
Yeah,
it's just
the
like,
movement was ridiculous.
it's like, man,
Um,
why do these
but
things
yeah,
exist?
I mean, I moved away from Call of Duty, like I said, years and years back. Back in when we did the episode 2011, I said that it was the last Call of Duty that I enjoyed was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, um, which was yeah a decade, well, almost a decade um, prior to this game, and this had such an appeal to it because one, it was free to play. And number two, you have that big name of Call of Duty, which was still popular to a lot of people, just not me per se. Um, but yeah, it transitioned really well to a battle royale game, um, and they kind of changed a lot of things in Verdansk, as the map is called, uh, that made it very unique for a battle royale and very fun. But yeah, at this point, it's kind of just broken.
Yeah, which is why I'm seeing people get eager for, um, obviously,
Vanguard,
well, Vanguard, but speaking of, the beta for that is this weekend. I didn't know if you knew that.
not gonna play it. To be honest.
No, not your World War II is not your thing.
I mean, yes, but then again, regular Call of Duty really isn't still. I
Right.
did try with Modern Warfare to get back into the multiplayer aspect of things, playing Search and Destroy again and Team Deathmatch and stuff like that. But you know, it's just not my thing anymore. That's just not it. It's not my junior year and summertime, and I'm online with all the boys. The party's full of 8 people, all yelling over each other and having a good time playing Call of Duty. Um, it's not those days anymore. It's not.
Yeah, no, I
Sad to
feel
see it
that.
go.
I feel that there'll be a point though. I can't say how many years out from that you're gonna hit those nostalgia notes, and that's what Halo has done for me this year with playing with you guys with Halo 5. It hit those nostalgia notes, which got myself eager for Infinite. So I think a lot of people are anticipating Infinite. I think a lot of people are anticipating Battlefield 2042, which unfortunately got delayed a few weeks. Which it wouldn't surprise me if that got delayed again. So Vanguard is going to be out first, and then 2042, and then Infinite. So we have a stacked fall into holiday lineup for shooters this year.
Yep.
And I can say I've pre-ordered all three. So on Xbox. So keep that in mind. What I'm going to play the most likely Halo. But I am very interested. I love the World War II stuff in the past. Vanguard looked fine. I watched people play the PlayStation closed beta from last weekend this week on YouTube. And it looks fine. I have my reservations or concerns about it. And I'm eager as hell
I just
to
feel
see
like
Battlefield stuff. Like 2442 looks good.
I feel like Call of Duty multiplayer is never really going to change. It's kind of been the same theme of
Yeah.
things, just with different graphics and maps. Really since like 2005.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's been the same.
since Call of
And
Duty 3. So,
yeah,
they've added a couple modes here and there that were fun and popped off, like zombies and gun game and stuff like that. But
gun game is
um,
great. I love gun
it
game.
is, it is, and it was a refreshing take on multiplayer Call of Duty.
Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons I love gun game. I'm able to work on multiple leveling up of guns in one match rather than
Yep.
just grinding through one gun at a time. I can focus and unlock various things, and that's what gets me hooked more into COD than the game itself. Is the leveling up of weapons and unlocking things. It's an RPG element to a shooter.
Yeah, there's definitely a form of uh, I'm blanking on the word, but happiness. I'll say I'll transfer it out for happiness. That there is to going ahead and being able to level up certain weapons and level
Well,
yourself up and prestiging.
it's
Prestiging is
accomplishment.
great.
But
Satisfaction is the word I was
yeah,
looking for.
it's an accomplishment. Prestiging it just means you put in a bunch of time. There was no
But
real
prestiging back then meant that once you prestiged, you reset.
right.
So
You reset everything,
all
but
your gun levels went back to zero, but you had that
right.
prestige.
But you only unlock guns back then at a very basic level by getting to a certain level by just playing matches and getting XP. Now they've added this meta where you have to get so many certain types of kills with certain weapons to unlock certain aspects of
Different skins
things.
and stuff like that.
So to me, that's the interesting aspect, not the core game itself. Which brings me to a point that I don't know if we've discussed this yet, but since we're on air talking about this, I figured now is the time to do it. Halo Infinite, their leveling system, I don't know if you've seen the feedback from that tech demo as far as how they're doing the leveling up and then progress through like their season rewards and stuff. The challenges, did you remember seeing that from playing it or watching me play it?
Yes.
So the challenges is how you earn XP. You don't earn XP by each match. You don't earn XP by each kill. You have to get XP through completing a challenge. So there are concerns from the hardcore gamers that play Halo over the years, or shooters in general, that this is going to manipulate games. It's concerning because let's say one of the challenges is get 25 kills with a rocket launcher. How do you think those matches are going to go for that day?
A lot of booms.
A lot of booms. And it's going to get obnoxious. It's going to
And
get...
stale.
And people are going to camp at certain spots, even though the weapon spawns are random. I'm doing air quotes. That just drives a certain, I guess, flow to matches. It forces a flow, and that's, to me, concerning rather than utilizing your own strategies and advantages. You're forcing a narrative to happen in matches. And I just hate the idea of, what if I can't get 25 kills with the damn rocket launcher? I'll never level up my character, therefore I'll never get other cosmetics that I want for my character and proceed through this season thing. I don't like that. Like, maybe I will at launch once I get more familiar with it, but I have concerns over that. It's, to me, that's such a problem.
It makes sense.
But now that we've talked about on a random soapbox of shooters, it's fitting because it's going to be part of our content this fall. There's no denying it. There's no escaping it. We're going to be doing a lot of that and talking and playing about a lot of this stuff in these next upcoming months. It's just fact.
Oh.
So hopefully we'll get better knowledge of all these things and create a lot of cool content. But yeah, so that's your number 2 and number 1 then? Was Modern Warfare and Apex?
Fuck it, we'll just say it.
My number one. As well go.
My number 1 is Apex Legends.
Okay.
Now, I played Fortnite from the day it released to the day Apex Legends came out. I was getting sick of Fortnite, but that's the game that I was playing with my friends. That was the game at the time. So I kind of felt like I was locked into it for a little bit. But once the announcement was dropped that Apex Legends was coming, and it was going to be this revolutionary battle royale game, it had me hooked. So I was a day one Apex Legends fan. I had it pre-ordered as soon as it dropped. I had it downloaded, and I started playing it, and it was extremely, extremely fun. The different aspects that they brought into it, that they created in Battle Royale games, respawn beacons, so being able to pick up your friend's banner and take it to a respawn beacon to bring your friends back even if they were dead. That was great, which it was so great that a couple months later, Fortnite added it to their game. Yeah, it was just... And the guns had a sense of... what's the word I'm looking for? They all seemed like they were pretty even. There wasn't a huge...
There's balance. Balance.
Yeah, and it's still to this day. I mean, I've played Apex quite a few times on stream. People have seen the happiness on my face when I got the heirlooms, because that is once you open 500 boxes. So it took me years to open 500 boxes and get an heirloom, which is the equivalent of $500. So I mean, no, there's just a certain aspect of just pure fun in that game, and each one of the legends has their own special abilities. They have a passive ability, a tactical ability, and then a ultimate ability as well. So just finding your main and being able to play with them, it's just such a breath of fresh air when it came from Fortnite dominating the world. And as you said at the top of the show in your notes, Apex Legends came out and gave Fortnite a run for their money. It took well over half their viewers. Apex instantly became the number 1 on Twitch, which was huge because Fortnite was dominating it for over a year. Professionals and the top streamers all went over to Apex to at least try it. Even right now, as we speak, Apex has made a comeback since Call of Duty Warzone became broken. And right now on Twitch, it is the number 1 viewed game currently on Twitch at midnight for us East Coast listeners. They're at 67,000 viewers right now.
Good God.
So yeah, that's huge. But yeah, that's really what it boils down to, is that this is what pulled me away from Fortnite, got me into Apex Legends, and it was just a great game for such a long time. Call of Duty Warzone obviously gave Apex a run for its money and became the new top game, but since it's broken, Apex has regained that top spot. All the top guys like Nick Merckx, they're all going back to Apex Legends, so it's 2 years later, it's still a great time to be an Apex fan.
Now, the team behind this game it's Respawn, right?
It is Respawn.
So, for those unfamiliar, their previous title was Titanfall 2, which did well critically, but did not do well sales-wise because it was sandwiched in between a bunch of other big releases at that time. I just think it was a bad time for them to release that particular game. And again, it didn't do well in sales. Fantastic game. Added a campaign mode that was lacking non-existent rather, in the first Titanfall game. Now, this company came together because they were a bunch of former ex-members of Infinity Ward, which
Yep.
was the team that put out Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare back in 2007. So they left the company years after that, formed Respawn, created Titanfall, which was a fantastic game. Again, Titanfall 2 didn't do well sales-wise. And then here they are with Apex Legends, which, as you mentioned, blew up. And they've done great things with that particular game.
Yeah, and people have seen me be having fun playing that game, which that's an important thing when you're streaming is to have fun with whatever you're doing.
Oh, most definitely.
Um, and I've had a lot of fun playing Apex on stream, opening that heirloom on camera, which was great. That was during the charity stream. Got a nice TikTok video out of it that did very, very well. But taking it back to you talking about Titanfall, Apex is built in the same world as Titanfall. Some of the weapons that are in the game are the same weapons that you saw in Titanfall. So that's a little bit of a homage to their last game.
Yeah, and it looks, plays, and feels. If you liked Titanfall, which I did personally, I enjoyed
I
the
was
game
a
a
big Titanfall
lot.
fan.
It has that same durable, heavy feel. I don't know how to describe it.
There's been rumors about Titans coming to the game
Ooh.
for over a year.
That'd be cool. That'd change everything.
A little bit.
So to conclude 2019, I'll hit you with my second and first. And then obviously stick with us. We do have one more episode left here tonight. My number 2 is a Switch exclusive. It is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. If you're familiar with the Ultimate Alliance games, this one should excite you, but also maybe disappoint you because it was a Switch exclusive if you don't have one, whereas the prior ones were available on multiple platforms. This one is a lot of fun. I put a lot of hours into this. It's easily one of my top played games on my Switch. The DLC packs are great. The challenge missions and the various things that you could do. And every time they released a DLC pack, the level cap went up. So it was always like extending that finish line. Like, you're not done yet. You have more things you can do. There was other bonus items. I believe Deadpool was one of the bonuses that you got with it. And obviously his one-liners, his quirkiness. The cast of it was fantastic. They improved upon the mechanics from 1 and 2, made it more fluid, more user-friendly. The arenas that you go through as far as the linear path of the story stuff in the main campaign was a lot of fun. A lot of cool environments where they explored, like X-Men Mansion, the Danger Room, like so many different things throughout the story. It was just a lot of fun. Very, very, I would say somewhat kid-friendly. But there's just a good mix of content. It's not too long and it's not too short of a game. There's just a lot to do in it. So that was my number 2. My number 1, which should come as no surprise, as I say before and multiple times with things. My number 1 pick is the Resident Evil 2 remake. And this game is visually stunning, incredibly scary, and so inspired by the content that it was influenced by. The puzzles are there. The police headquarters is fun to explore. Mr. X is still terrifying. And there's just so many cool things in this game. It's still fun and creepy to go back to. If you haven't played Resident Evil 2 Remake, or if you're curious where to jump back into the Resident Evil games, that is a great starting point to get yourself familiar with classic Resident Evil gameplay mixed with the modern look and feel of games of today. So that is my hands down number 1 pick.
Well done.
Uh-oh. We're holding.
Oh, we're holding?
I thought you said hold on.
Oh, no, I said well done.
Oh, it's like, hold on, what are we holding for?
Close.
But yeah, Ty says Apex with skin crossovers and live events would be unstoppable. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, The one good thing about Apex and bad thing at the same time is they didn't sell out or buy in, as Fortnite players would say. Um, so you don't have those skins like the DC and the Marvel skins, and the skins that you buy aren't by money per se. You get Apex packs during your time playing, and it's luck of the draw. Um, but when you do get a duplicate, it gives you crafting materials, which certain amount of crafting materials you get to unlock whatever skin you decide to pick. So the skins are a little bit limited, but the gameplay itself and the feel of it is just on another level. Being able to have, like I said, each legend having their own specific abilities to be able to do. They're every season they come out with one new character, which is great. That gives you new abilities, new gameplays, new ways to team up. Because there are obviously certain legends that are really, really good together. Um, Say you have like Bangalore who shoots a smoke bomb, so it basically blinds everybody because you're in smoke. If you have a guy that's playing Bloodhound who can scan the area and it outlines everybody in red, then you're kind of OP because you can see the people in the smoke and they can't see you. So there's definitely a skill gap with technique in that game, but again, you don't have to worry about people building the Taj Mahal in a half a second after you take your first shot.
Right.
Which you'll see me playing more Apex Legends on this channel.
I would say, shameless self-plug right there. You're in the
Yeah,
right place if you want to see more Apex content.
That is not going anywhere. That is a game I will have in my rotation. I'll be playing it every now and then on this channel for sure.
So be on the lookout for that. That pretty much wraps 2019, our 134th episode of The Dosage. Stick around. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come right back with our year 2020. And man, what a year that was. So many world events, so many things to discuss. So let's go discuss them. We'll be right back after a word from our non-existent sponsor.
Raid Shadow Legends.